Therapy session 5. So we're going to do hip circles for this final session of this week's movement therapy theme. Hip circles are going to be done on the ground, but if for some reason you cannot get on the ground or lay on your back for a period of time, then you'll just stand behind a chair and use a chair and do the same movements we're doing, just standing. So let me show you the movements of the hip circle before we lay down. You are going to bring your knee toward your chest, and then you will let your hip go out to the side, and then you push your leg straight. Your hip is an external rotation, your inner thigh is exposed to the sky, and then in space, without touching the heel to the ground, you turn hip in, and then you start over. So it's knee to chest, external rotation drop, external rotation with inner thigh exposure, extend the leg, and then internal rotation of the hip, and then you just keep going. So remember, we've been talking about the movements of the hip. The movements of the hip include flexion, include extension, right? External rotation, internal rotation, but also and then abduction and adduction, so it goes out and in, right? Well, the 7th movement is where all of that is combined, and it just basically the hip rotates like this. Okay, so the head of the femur and the hip joint, the head of the femur looks like this, and it rotates through all of those movements, right there in the hip joint. And that's what these hip circles are about. That's what session 5 is about. That's what we've been preparing for. Yes, I have a standing version of this, but I don't think I'm ready for you to do the standing version. We do the standing version at my studio on Zoom. We do the standing version in my videos on AgeDEFYonline.com. But if you're only here for 5 minutes every day, I just am not comfortable with the standing version yet. But keep doing the app, and eventually I will have the standing version on the app as well. I just want to make sure you're ready for it. So the best way to do it, to get ready for it, is by laying on the ground. On the ground, you'll be on your back. Watch one more time. So we'll do this direction, right? We'll switch legs, but we also reverse that. So the knee comes up, we go straight out, keep the leg straight, external rotation, turn out, pull the knee out to the side, and then with the bent knee, we bring the hip back in, okay? So the first way is with the knee coming into the chest, open to the side, extend with the hip in external rotation, and then your hip goes internal rotation, and then you start it over. And when we do the reverse one, you go straight, you keep the leg straight, external rotation, pull the leg out to the side with a bent knee, internal rotation. So we're just moving your joint, the hip joint. It's like the shoulder joint. It's a ball and socket joint. We move the joint in all the 6 ways that we've already trained: flexion, extension, external rotation, internal rotation, abduction, adduction. Okay, that's how the hip moves. And now in these movements, we're going to go through all of those movements and really create hip mobility. All right, get ready to feel something. Okay, movement reveals all. This workout's going to reveal to you what's going on in your hips for sure. And if there's any glitch in the matrix, in a way, right? If there's any glitch along the way, we know where we need to work. Okay, so let yourself find out, chase your feel good. Don't push. You don't have to do as many reps as I do in this workout. You can work your way into it slowly and progressing. Okay, see you at the workout.